Oh, this thing's been on the whole time. That's not good. Well, at least I didn't say anything too bad. But everybody knows I wasn't exactly paying attention to the first few seconds there. But anyway, quick first half of the inning. We'll be right back here in just a minute as soon as I figure out how to get the ads loaded up here again. All right, well, while we're still figuring the rest of this stuff out, this will be the leadoff hitter for the Iberia Lady Rangers. That is Katie Pryor. She's the catcher today for the Lady Rangers. First pitch there from Alexander, high, ball one. That one also high, ball two. Those are good pitches. Pryor well disciplined to lay off of them. That one just low and out. So 3-0 here on Pryor. And ball four. Leadoff walk there for Pryor. Give the Lady Rangers their first base runner of the game. And that'll bring up Honey Mayhew, the pitcher today for the Iberia Rangers. Lady Rangers, that is. Iberia is the home team after a quick 1-2-3 top of the inning here. First pitch here to Mayhew. Swinging on a hit and run, and it's going to go well foul out of left field side over there. So here's the 0-1 delivery. That one low. Another hit and run. Hit over to third base. Picked up over to first. In time. So Pryor goes to second there on the fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Jalen Piggott, first baseman for the Lady Rangers today. Runner in scoring position for her. That one going to catch her at the knees for strike one. That one swung on. That one gets past the third baseman over there out into left field. Pryor coming around. Misplayed over there in left field. Throw back in will stop the runner at second, but not before Iberia gets their first run on the board here in the bottom of the first. So I'm going to give that a single with an error to the left fielder because that was easily fielded. But a hit no less, and that'll bring up Kaya Yoakum here. Cleanup hitter playing shortstop for the Lady Rangers. First pitch she sees is in the dirt. Ball one. Second pitch high, ball two. Alexander's trying to get in the chase, and they're not going to. That one in there for a strike. Runner goes to third while everybody's sleeping. She is safe. Stolen base there by Piggott. So 2-1 here. Three and one count now. That one smashed out into left center. That's going to at least be a double, if not a triple, and that'll bring Piggott home to score. Stand-up double into second there by Yoakum. And Iberia now has a 2-0 lead. My noise canceling might be a little too good for all this hollering going on out here. Looking for my controls. There we go. That one high. Runner thought about going. Cardos keeps her honest. That one going to be inside, ball one or ball two. This is McKenna Shelton up now for the Iberia Lady Rangers. That one popped up over to the right side. It'll be out of play for a long strike one. So now 2-1 here on Shelton. That one swung on and fouled off the helmet of the catcher there for strike two. So now it's 2-2. Two delivery here by Alexander in the dirt. And the runners will now be on the corners as Yoakum takes third on the ball in the dirt. Shelton to go to first. That'll bring up Kylie McElroy here for the Lady Rangers. That one fouled off, did not hit my car, which is always nice. All right. So 0-1 count here on McElroy. That one popped up in foul territory, might be in play. Will get stuck in the fence for a foul ball. That's 2 swings, 2 strikes on foul balls. Runner on first and third. McElroy trying to get some ribbies going here. Runner's going to take second on defensive indifference. So here's the 1-2. That one swung on and fouled away. McElroy doing a good job of battling here in a 2-strike count. Still 1-2. Eva Duncan on deck for the Lady Rangers with only 1 out. That one stroked out into center field, getting underneath it and caught. Forgot how many outs there were, apparently. Throws it to third. Third baseman cannot squeeze it. And that's another run in as Joachim comes in to score. Shelton goes to third, and McElroy will be safe at first. Or be out. Sorry. She was still standing there. My brain got the better of me. Now 3-0 Iberia with 2 outs in the inning. That one over to shortstop, picked up by Moss over to first for the out. And that will end the bottom of the first inning here. But not before Iberia puts 3 up on the board. Nope, 2 up on the board. Nope, it's 3. Joachim scored, Pickett scored, Pryor scored. So I'm right, the scoreboard is incorrect. Now, I'm still trying to figure out how to get the ads up on this thing. It works most of the time, but for some reason today, it's not working. So, if we can't figure that out, then I will just have to do verbal shout-outs, even though I made nice, pretty ads for everybody. But we will be back with the top of the second inning here in just a few minutes. Well, pop out to left there to start the top of the second inning for the Lady Bears. I believe that was Cardos. That one in there for a strike. Michaela Bennett up. Swung on a miss there, strike two. Here's the 0-2 to Bennett. Nice off speed on the outside part of the plate. She did not bite on it. Now 1-2. Here's the 1-2. That one about chest high. She fouls it off into the fence there. So now 1-2 again. That one in the dirt with some speed on it. And it doesn't bite on that one either. Runs it to 2-2 here. So here's the 2-2 delivery. Swung on and missed, and Bennett will go have a seat. Second strikeout of the game there for Mayhew. And that will bring up Brooklyn Moore. That one belt high strike. Here's the 0-1 delivery. She thought about it, but that one fell off the table for a ball. So here's the 1-1. That one in there for strike two. So Moore down 1-2. That one a ball. Now 2-2 on Moore. Looking for something to hit here. That one belt high. She won't see a better one all day. The third strikeout of the day and the third out of the inning there for Mayhew as we head now to the bottom of the second with Iberia leading 3-0. And once again, I'm going to do my best to get the ads running up here. And if not, then I'll just do them by myself here. I've got scripts and all that for them. But otherwise, just stay tuned. Hang in there. We'll get it figured out. All right, first pitch strike there to Carly Carmack, number 8 hitter. Alexander starting off there with a good strike on the inside. That one just traveled a little bit inside. That one smashed over foul, just the other side of the third base line. So now the 1-2 delivery here. Here's the 1-2. That one high, fouled out of play. I may move my car between games here. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Carmack. Two balls, 2 strikes. That one thrown back in over there. Jaden Ogle's mama. She's still got a pretty good arm, but she's been out in the backyard a little. That one high. Full count now. Here's the full count delivery from Alexander. Swung on and missed. Strikeout there. First of the game for Carmack first of the game for Carmack and Alexander. That'll bring up Palin DeVore. That one in there just high for ball 1. That one popped up over towards second base, settling underneath it for the squeeze. And that is out number 2. One in there for a ball. This is Pryor. She led off the game with a walk in the first. Ooh, inside almost gets her. Ball 2. Giving her a little chin music there. That one in there for strike 1. That one hit well out into center, but it is squeezed by Ogle for out number 3. And that will end the inning. So we go to the top of the third here, 3-0 Iberia. We'll be back in just a minute. All right. Leading off the third here for the Lady Bears is Spurberg. One of them, anyway. I believe Catherine, if I'm not mistaken. Takes the first one for a ball. That one in there for a strike. Runs the count to 1-1. That one swung on and missed. Nice little change up there. Caught her off guard. That one in the dirt. That one swung on pretty well over to the right side. Might be a little trouble, but it is squeezed. Nice play over there by McElroy with that one kind of tailing away from her towards the foul line. And that'll bring up Audrey Bowling. That one swung on for strike one. That one stroked right up the middle. That's a base hit. Nice piece of hitting there by Bowling to get the Bears their first base runner of the game. And that'll bring up Jimmy Joe Suffolk, number 9 hitter here, and it's back to the top of the order with Moss and Ogle. Bowling pretty quick. See if we've got anything in the works here. Nice catch in the audience over there on that foul ball. That one weakly hit over to first base, but it'll be enough to move the runner up. So Bowling heads to second there. There's now 2 outs in the inning for Mallory Moss. Looking for an opportunity to bring Bowling around and get the Bears on the board. First pitch by Mayhew. Fouled off over to the right side, now to play. That one in the dirt. Low. Bowling thought about going, but good stop there by Pryor behind the plate to keep her where she's at. It's now 1-1 on Moss. That one in the dirt. That one will get away from Pryor, and that will send Bowling over here to third base. So a ball in play in fair territory will score first run of the game for the Lady Bears. Fouled back into the fence here. I only flinched a little, just a little bit. So 1-2 here now on Moss. So 2-2 with 2 outs. Runner on third base. That one in the dirt, full count. Full count delivery here by Mayhew. In the dirt, Moss will walk, throw it over to third. Gets away from the third baseman, but the left fielder's there to pick it up. So Bowling will stay at third, and Moss will go to first with a walk. That'll bring up Jaden Ogle, the number 2 hitter. Struck out, dropped third strike, and she was thrown out there in the top of the first inning. Fouled off there by Ogle for strike 1. Oh, 1 delivery. Swung on out into center field. It might get down, but it is snagged by Yoakum over there at short. And that will end the third inning here for the Lady Bears. Oh no, my pin come apart. So we head to the bottom of the third with the Lady Bears still trailing 3-0 here. And again, I'm going to run these ads the way it's letting me do it and see if I can get my sponsors integrated here. So hopefully you can see them. If not, I'll work on that between games so people can get what they're due. All right. Well, that's something I'll have to work on between games. So we will give our sponsors vocal shout-outs, and I'll figure that out after the first game here. This is trial and error, and in case nobody's noticed, it's mostly error on my end. But we're getting it figured out as we go here. That one a little high. 2-0 count now. And I believe this is Mayhew. It is. Swung over to third. Picked up over to first. High. Throw gets away. Mayhew thought about taking second but didn't. I believe that's Brooklyn Moore over there on first. Did not quite get extended enough to get that. That's Michaela Bennett over there on third base. That one inside, runner goes, throw down is in time, got her. Oh, she said safe, but she certainly got her before she hit the bag over there, so. I'd give you a replay, but it's not like we can appeal it anyway. She was out by at least a step, but mistakes happen. That one stroked out into right center. Right fielder bobbles it. Ogle bobbles it in center. She's going to throw it back in, but not before Mayhew comes around to put up the fourth run of the game for the Lady Rangers. Pickett's got an RBI on that one. And that'll bring up Yoakum. Hit a double in her first at bat. That one in there for a strike. That one, little off speed, chest high, popped up. That one is squeezed by Bennett for the first out of the inning here. That one in the dirt. Runner goes to third. Throw down in time. We'll get her. Called safe again, apparently. So now that's two free base runners left on. That one will get away from the catcher, away from everybody, and the run will come home. So Pickett scores on what I will have to credit as a stolen base and a pass ball. And it is now 5-0 Iberia. That one stroked out into center. Ogle backpedaling, it gets over her head. She should know better. That one thrown in. She's going for third. Play at third. They called her safe, and she was actually safe on that one. Got down below the tag. So that's that should have been an out. I'm not going to rule it an error on the center fielder. It's just a hard hit ball. So now Shelton is on with a triple with only one out in the inning. Got a little conference out there on the mound. So while we have a second here, I just want to say thank you to all of our sponsors. In no particular order: Three Brothers Meat Company, Marys County Bank, A to Z Exterminating, Richard Pentecost over at R&R Motors, Backwoods Construction, Walters Construction, and Glasshopper, as well as CNC Farm and Home in Lebanon and Bolivar. Thank you guys for making this possible. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here. And that is going to be Michaela Bennett coming in to pitch. And I don't know if Eva's going to go to a different position. She might go to third. She may go to first. I don't know exactly what's going to happen yet. We'll figure that out as we go. But anyway, especially a big thank you to CNC Farm and Home and Backwoods Construction. They're our two biggest sponsors, and I really wish your ads that I made for you would work, because it took me like 14 tries to get them recorded and going, and I finally was happy with them, and now they won't play. So hopefully I can get that figured out in between games here and give my sponsors their due, but I couldn't do any of this without those guys, guys and girls, rather, and we really, really appreciate them here at BCB Media, Better Call Ball Sports, whatever you want to identify us as. I'm sitting under a big canopy that Backwoods Construction provided, so thanks to Adam for that. And so we about got this pitching change done. I'll be right back with you in just a second. All right, that one in there for strike one, with Bennett pitching now to McElroy. That one just high, ball one. Now 1-1, with only one out here in the inning. That one stroked over, foul. Shelton over there on third, trying to sneak her way home. That one fielded over by Moss over to first for the out, but Shelton will score in the process. So McElroy gets the second out of the inning here for the Lady Rangers, and that will bring up Eva Duncan. That one in there low for a ball. That one stroked out into right. It might be foul. Just foul, luckily. So that will bring up, or still is Eva Duncan. Will bring up a 0-1 count, now an 0-2 count after that one's fouled off into the fence. That one just inside for ball number 2. That one low on the payoff pitch to walk Duncan. She'll go to first base here, and that'll bring up Carly Carmack again. Grounded out to short. That one smashed out into right field and overran. So that will get down as an RBI double for Carly Carmack, as Duncan will score all the way from first. And it is now a 7-0 ball game in favor of the Lady Rangers. That one right back to the pitcher, over to first. And that is the third out of the third inning, as DeVore grounds out to the pitcher. And that will take us to the top of the fourth. Lady Bears got some making up to do in a hurry, unless they want this to be an early end of the ball game. So you guys are going to see trying to get my other camera working here, and I may have to just reset it and try again. So as much as I'd like to just keep this stream running for both of these games, I think in order to get my sponsor ads put back in here, I may have to reset the whole ordeal. Hey, there we go. There's our secondary view. Yeah. We'll get it fixed, and we'll go back to that. That way everybody can see third base and left field a little bit better around the umpires. This thing kind of has a mind of its own. There we go. That one smashed over through shortstop. And that's a base hit there by Alexander. So now a few signs of life here as Cardos will come up to the plate. There's our secondary view. A little bit of lag there. The internet down here is not real great, but it's something. Swing and a miss there by Cardos, now 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Alexander waiting for a miscue to take off. That one poked over towards shortstop. Yoakum can't get it. And it gets past the left fielder there. Duncan can't corral it, so Eva Alexander will come home for one, and Cardos will be safe at third. I'm going to give her a hit there, but I'm not going to give her a triple. We'll just give her a single, because she would have had to stay at first. maybe second, but I'm going to say at first if it had been fielded cleanly by the left fielder. So we'll give her a hit, but not a triple. So regardless, though, she's sitting at third base over there. See, there she is. Fouled off there by Bennett for strike one. So now 7-1. Richland chipping away. No outs in the inning. That one's going to go low. For ball one, now 1-1 here. That one swung on out of play. That was a strike two that ended up in the bushes. That one low, ball two. So now 2-2 here. That one swung on and missed. Strikeout. It's Bennett's second strikeout of the day. Both swinging. That'll bring up Brooklyn Moore here. She struck out in her first at bat. That one is going to be low for ball one. That one smashed up over on the left side. Going to be corralled at third base by Carmack for out number 2. And that'll bring up Spurberg. She hits the first one she sees. Popped up in the infield and caught for out number 3. Sorry, I had to sneeze there. So that is the third out of the inning, but the Lady Bears put one up on the board here. So we hit to the bottom of the fourth now with a 6-run lead for the Lady Rangers. Let's see if the Lady Bears can hold them to that or not. Hopefully so. All right. Sorry about that. I was looking for some other scores for somebody. Perks of having all the know-how. I suppose. Although I wouldn't call it know-how. Know of, more like. Anyway, so here is... this is Pryor, the leadoff. She reached on a walk in the first inning and later scored and flew out to center in the second. And this is her first at-bat here in the fourth. That one smashed out towards center field. Ogle on the run. Will corral it. Second fly out to center there. It's not a bad thing to hit line drives out to center. I don't think I'd ever be upset at anybody for lining out to center field. Bennett's first pitch swung on and missed there by Mayhew. Oh, 1. That one fouled off. Now 0-2. So it is Alexander over at third base now with Bennett pitching. Everybody else pretty well stayed where they're at. That one smashed over to third base. Alexander can't grab it cleanly. Throws it over to first, well behind the runner. And Mayhew is safe. Now, we're going to call that an error, as it hit Alexander directly in the glove. Things just not going Eva's way today, either on the mound or in the field, it seems. That one straight up the middle, chance for a double play. Moss can't grab it, and both runners will be safe. So two straight errors there. Puts two Lady Rangers on first and second. So E5 and E6, they've got their turn. E8's had an error. E9's had an error. I think almost everybody's got covered at this point. And that one face high on Yoakum. One ball, no strikes. That one smashed directly over the head of Bennett out in the center. Both runners will advance. One coming home, play at the plate, is not in time. And Mayhew will score from second. That makes it 8-1 now, Iberia. So Pickett to second, Yoakum to first, and that will bring up Shelton here. She had a triple in her previous at-bat. That one popped up, playable. Second base ranging out, can't make the play. Ogle picks it up, throws it into second base. That one's in time. So Pickett will go to third. Yoakum is out at second. And Shelton at first. That one in there for a ball. And I got to imagine that Shelton's going to be headed to second here pretty quick. Even though there are two outs. Runner on third, they won't make the throw. That one swung, base hit into left field, and that'll score another. Shelton was on the move, but she'll stay at second. So RBI single there for McElroy. And that was a true base hit. Suffolk Field did it cleanly and got it in. That'll bring up Eva Duncan here. That one foul. So now 9-1 in the bottom of the fourth. And there goes McElroy. She stole second. Nope, no, she didn't. Whoops. McElroy still over there on first. That one just in, 2-1 on Duncan. I seen Shelton come off the bag over there at second and thought maybe they had advanced. That one swung on over to third. Alexander can't field it cleanly. Throw over the head of Moore will score one, maybe two, depending on how fast they can get it in. So Duncan is on second base after the error. Shelton scores. McElroy over to third. And I would bet that out of these 10 runs that Iberia has, I'd say only about 4 are earned. That one low. This is Carly Carmack again here. Runners on second and third for Carmack. She already has 1 RBI, I think. That one snagged. Nice play over at second base by Bowling. And that is the third out of the inning. As the Lady Bears finally get that third out. But not before allowing 3 runs in the inning. So that was a 4-3 put out. Nice play by Audrey Bowling. And we head to the top of the 5th here. Lady Bears got some works to do if they want to keep this game going. If not, it's going to be an early night for them with 1 more run scored. So I'm going to go ahead and thank our sponsors once again. Backwoods Construction and CNC Farm and Home are our 2 platinum sponsors we got for this season. We greatly appreciate the both of them. Adam got me this nice canopy over here from Backwoods Construction. It's got his logo and mine on it. Doing a pretty good job of keeping me shaded at the moment. Then we also have Three Brothers Meat, Walters Construction, and Glasshopper. All those are our silver sponsors for this season. And then our bronze sponsor is A to Z Exterminating and Richard Pentecost over at R&R Motors. And then Marys County Bank, our lone gold sponsor. They are making their own ad. I don't have their ad, so I was going to be just reading off from them anyway. But Marys County Bank has a ton of locations. I believe 9 now. It's 8 or 9. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll tell you here in just a minute. They have locations I know for sure in Richland, Iberia, which are who's playing now, and then Vienna, Argyle, Bell, Cuba, Dixon, who plays next, Owensville, St. James, St. Robert, and Vichy. All those locations. So I believe that comes to 11. So always growing. Be sure that you grow your business along with them. First pitch to Audrey Bowling is a strike. That one hit over to third, picked up by Carmack over to first in time. And that is the first out of the 5th for the Lady Bears. So 5-3 there for the out. And that'll bring it Jimmy Joe Suffolk. Swing and a miss there. A little bit of conversation going on between the Coach Wyrick and Mayhew out here. That one hit weakly to third. Carmack again over to first for the out. Different batter, same result. And quickly 2 outs here in the 5th for the leadoff hitter, Moss. And the signal here for that secondary camera is just not great. I'll use it as much as I can. That one stroked out into left center. It's down for a base hit. Bounces over for a ground rule double. So Moss has her first hit of the game there with 2 outs. Nice 2-out double. Speaking of Mosses, that would be the Three Brothers Meat Company that is one of our sponsors over in Montreal. Be sure to go see Todd, Chris, and Ira for any meat that you may need. First pitch here to Ogle. She fouls off into the fence. Moss looking to steal third and put herself in position to score here. Trying to make sure that they can get this game going the full 7. That one fouled away again. Strike 2 now on Ogle with 2 outs. So 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Runner on second. Changeup just low. Way to lay off of that one. Here's the 1-2. That one right down central, poked off the end of the bat and out of the reach of McElroy at second. Runner will stay at third, so Moss over to third and a 2-out single by Jaden Ogle. Good effort there by McElroy to make the play, but just could not reach it. Now to bring up Eva Alexander here. She scored the lone run for the Lady Bears in the game. I believe she had a single, if I'm not mistaken. That one trying a little trick play there to get Moss over at third. Kind of counteracting the trick play that was going on over there with Ogle. So ball 1 there to Eva. Here's the 1-0. That one high, ball 2. They're sticking with fastball. Try to keep Ogle honest over there at first. There's going to be some off speed, I believe it'd be right now. 2-0. And it was. Might have been an attempt at a curveball there. It had the rotation of 1, but it's fouled off there for strike 1. 2-1 count here. That one a change up in there for strike 2. Let's see if they go back to the off speed or if they go for the stinky cheese. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners. That one fastball out away from the plate. Moss headed home. She'll be there safely. She'll score on the pass ball there to make it 10-2 now. See, I'm getting the hang of this. I even kept up with the scoreboard this time. So Ogle goes to second on the pass ball. So now it's a full count. 3-2, 2 outs, runner on second for Eve Alexander. Cardos on deck. That one chin high, and she will walk. Good take. And I don't know how she took that one because I'd have tried to park it over the batting cage there in right field if I've seen it. But it was a good take on her part. Now to bring up Cardos here. That one fouled off to the right side, out of play. So 0-1 here on Cameron Cardos. That one slapped out into right field and squeezed by McKenna Shelton to end the inning. Lady Bears put one on the board, though. So 2 outs by Carmack and 1 by Shelton over there in right field. And the Lady Bears still trail 10-2 here, headed into the bottom of the 5th. So Iberia needs 2 runs to end this ball game, I believe. Unless I think after 5 it's 8 runs, but I'm not sure. Now, it's got to be 10 after 5, I'm pretty sure, because otherwise that would be ball game. Softball rules are a little different, but they do change here and there, but not terribly often. You guys know R&R Motors over there at the end of Richland, right by 7 and 133. That would be the car wash and the used cars over there. It's quality used cars. If you need an extra ride, go see Richard at R&R. Or if you just want to clean up the one you have. That's basically the gist of the ad that I made. It's just not quite as refined and professional sounding. Of course, I've never been accused of being professional at very many things. Trying to be a professional at this, but it's not cooperating. But, you know, one of these days I'll get it all figured out, and then everything will change again, and I'll have to figure it all out one more time. But I don't mind it. It's a fun challenge sometimes. We'll have another game after this. It will be Stoutland and Dixon. Winner of that will advance to play the winner of this in the championship. I believe the 2 losers of those 2 games will be playing for 3rd place. Newberg and Crocker will be playing for the consolation on Friday. I wish I could tell you that I was going to be here for all those, but I have football to do, and that one stroked out into left field. Suffolk and Ogle. Ogle drops it. She called Jimmy Joe off and then did not squeeze it. Jimmy Joe had a good line on that. And so that puts Palin DeVore on second base with an error. And that'll bring up the leadoff batter, Pryor. She reached on a reach by walk in the first inning and has flown out to center field twice in the meantime. So this is her third at bat, 4th plate appearance. Checking her wristband. 1 ball, no strikes here on Pryor. That's 2 balls. Runner at second over there being awfully aggressive. Peyton trying to get him to make a mistake. Two runs ends the ball game here, if I'm not mistaken. That's a bunt fielded by Bennett over to first, and they got the out at first. But that advances the runner, DeVore, over to third. So she'll be looking to score on any pass balls, any miscues at all. So 1 out here brings up the second slot, Mayhew. She slams that one out towards left field. It's going to be out of play. Moss probably could have made the play, but over there that close to the dugout, I don't blame her for pulling up. That dugout is mostly concrete and chain link, and that is not fun to run into by any stretch of the imagination. So 0-1 here, 1 out, runner on third. Bennett's pitch high. Now 1-1 on Mayhew. That one stroked out in over towards third base. It's going to go off the top of the dugout and out of play. That'll be the second strike now for Mayhew. Count goes to 1-2. That one high. 2-2. Trying to get her to chase up high, and she absolutely will not. Two balls, two strikes. That one off speed, fouled off into the fence. I didn't flinch that time, but the umpire did. He had no idea where that one was going. So 2-2. Again with 1 out and runner on third. That one well outside. Good snag there by Cardos, and now it's a full count. Winning run at the plate for the Lady Rangers here in the bottom of the fifth. Swung on, fouled again. So Mayhew staying alive there. Here's the payoff pitch. That one swung on over to shortstop. Moss picks it up over to first for out number 2, but a run will score as DeVore comes around. And another error comes back to haunt the Lady Bears. So 6-3 put out there for the second out, and that'll bring up Piggott. She is the winning run. That one just outside. Just a bit outside. Tried the corner and missed. The obligatory Bob Uecker impersonation. Here's the 1-0 from Bennett. That one just outside again, 2-0. Bennett trying to keep it out of Piggott's wheelhouse here. Throw it outside, make her hit it off the end of the bat here or hit a ground ball. And instead, that one, she hangs it up high, and this one is way back to the fence. Hits off the bottom of the fence, gets away from Ogle. She's going for third. Ogle on the throw is not going to be in time. Ball gets away from the third baseman, and if she scores, it is ball game. And that is the 12th run. That is ball game, I believe. As Piggott comes around to score. And that will be the ball game. Iberia Lady Rangers win 12-2 in 5. Started off as a pretty good game and then directly downhill from there. I'm not going to kick the Lady Bears while they're down, but that was yet another error off of what would have been a double. So that was actually 2 errors, two by the center fielder. We won't kick anybody. Yeah, the whole point of that is this game was lost on errors, and that does happen from time to time. So hopefully the Lady Bears can come back from that, play a little better in the third place game. That will be happening tomorrow, I believe, at like 4 o'clock, 4:30. I have that schedule posted on the Better Call Ball page on Facebook. If you guys don't follow me on Facebook yet, please do. If you're one of those strange people who still doesn't have Facebook for some reason, you can get Facebook, and then you can follow us on Facebook. It's Better Call Ball on Facebook, or if you guys are watching on the YouTube link here, be sure to follow and subscribe to the Better Call Mobile 25 page. That's where we'll be doing all of these streams for the next couple of weeks. One more time, though, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors, starting with the platinum sponsors, Backwoods Construction. Adam Braithwaite there. Call Backwoods Construction for any projects you may need. 417-594-1716. And then CNC Farm and Home in Lebanon and Bolivar. They've got everything you need for farm and home needs. Livestock supplies, pet supplies, fencing, hardware, all kinds of stuff there for them. And then Three Brothers Meat Company, Walters Construction, Marys County Bank, Glasshopper, A to Z Exterminating, and R&R Motors in Richland are the rest of our sponsors. I'm always looking for sponsors too, by the way, and if you'd like to be a sponsor, just shoot me a message or get a hold of me on Facebook or by cell phone. You guys probably have my number or can get it pretty easily. And if you don't want to be a sponsor, but you just want to help the show out and help me out doing this stuff, I do have a Venmo account linked to the Facebook page. I should probably put that in the YouTube description as well. But I have a Venmo account linked there, and you guys can pitch me $5 or $2, or I don't care if you send me 50 cents. Anything's better than nothing. And all of them are greatly, greatly appreciated. So we're going to go ahead and end this stream. We'll be back with Dixon and Stoutland here in just a minute on a different stream. I'll live stream that one more time. Now that I kind of know what I'm doing, it should be easier to do it. And I'm going to try to make sure the ads are included on this one. So thank you guys for tuning in for the game. And we'll be back in just a little bit with the second semifinal game.